Okay. I never know where to look on these things. So, is it supposed to be the green dot? Maybe it is. Huh, okay. Uh, Willow's right here. Yep, it's your ear. So, I want to talk about stuff that's going on. And so, if you don't want to hear this, if it's going to trigger you, please skip ahead to the, and I'll put maybe the cat picture that I just took in between this and the video that will be about cross stitch and floss tube. But I think we need to talk about the black mamba in the room. Black mambas are the only snake that are known to chase humans to bite them. And they can charge you at 35 miles an hour. So yeah, they're dangerous. Found sub-Saharan Africa, but I'm thinking about South Africa. So a lot of people in my stitch groups are afraid, they're anxious. A lot of people have said they just want to put their head down and stitch. And hey, Max, and that's good sometimes. And that's, you got to do what you need to do for your mental health and your emotions and your survival. But there are things that we can all do. We do have power. Yes, Max, are you okay? He's licking his chops like, yeah, you want to look in the camera too? So, there are things that we all can do. A lot of things are happening right now. We're kind of beyond a constitutional crisis. We're in a coup against our Constitution. And I'm going to put a bunch of video links in my descriptions to give you some resources, and you can listen to some of the things that I've been listening to. And this is why I'm not afraid. This is where, sometimes I might get a little anxious, but I'm, with my PTSD, I'm full of rage. So I don't feel afraid. I feel like, what can I do next? And so some of the things that I'm planning to do is participate in the financial boycott that's happening starting on February 28th. I am also participating in a Amazon boycott. There's going to be one that's, I think, been announced between March 7th and March 14th. But I'm actually thinking about doing something more extreme sooner, because Amazon is dicking around with our Kindle accounts, and okay, that makes me say I'm done. Because I have like a huge Kindle library, and I don't want to be dicked around by oligarchs over what I want to read. And so, anyway, that's censorship. And yeah, if I'm paying full price for a book, then it's a book I should be able to access because I have bought it from you. Plain and simple. So, Amazon and their attorneys don't feel the same. But this is where we do have power. We have our pocketbooks, our checking accounts, our credit cards, our money, our pennies to the oligarchs, okay? But we can spend our money how we choose. And that's where I'm choosing to do some things. I have been boycotting, you'll see a picture of the shirt I'm wearing. That's probably what I'm going to put between the regular Flosstube and this. And okay, I have 4 minutes, 44 seconds, because I don't want to talk forever on this. But hey, they're both wandering around. So, Willow. Okay, I thought she was going to be in front of the camera, but no, she didn't go that far. So, anyway, there are lots of things we can do, okay? And one of the things we can do every day is we can call our senators and our representatives in Congress. I send emails just about every day. I'm signing petitions just about every day. And, I live in a blue state, and I know that my senators are getting my emails. But, those town halls where the Republicans are all saying, WTF, why are you letting, a king rule us? It's happening in blue states too. We're asking our Democratic leaders, why aren't you doing more? Because they should be. Okay? So that's number one. You can tell the leadership you aren't happy, and ask them what they're concretely doing. Okay? That's one of our powers. The other power is choose how you're going to spend your money. Okay? I've been boycotting Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, Hobby Lobby. Seems like there was a fourth one. Oh, Trader Joe's for union busting. Is there a fifth one? I can't remember. But I don't go to those places. I did go to Trader Joe's at Christmas. Moment of weakness. I can't get my husband to not go to them, unfortunately, because he's vegetarian and they have frozen meals that are vegetarian that he likes. And you can get them there. Other places it's harder to find vegetarian prepared meals. But anyway, and I also don't go to Chipotle, because there's no way you could convince me as a former public health person, as a virologist, that you can't figure out the source of your salmonella. Okay? Salmonella is a bacteria. You can see it through the microscope. I just don't believe that. Okay? That shows how badly our public health system has gone to hell. Okay? But that's a different discussion. So you can see I have rage. Okay, I'm not afraid. I am going to do my job, and I'm going to continue to express myself to my legislatures, and I'm going to basically say, what can I do with my money? Okay? And there are some suggestions in some of the videos that I'm going to link in this video. And but have hope. It's hard to have hope. Everything's so dark. But know that there are people out there that care about you, that are thinking of you, that want the best for you. They aren't in Washington, D.C., but they're in Oregon, they're in other states around the country. The cross-stitch community is there for you. And what we can do to support each other, I'm going to continue to do that. But when I'm with my stitch groups and they're talking about these things and feeling afraid, that's why I felt like I had to do this video, because fear isn't going to help us. Okay? But you also have to take care of yourself. So one of the things I link in this video is an hour and 33-minute video by AOC, where the first thing she says is take a breath. Okay? And she's knitting now. Okay? So she knows the power of crafting. She knows the power of creating. So we need to take a breath, take a break. Another person I watch on YouTube, he's taking this weekend off to spend time with his spouse. So, he was saying, I need to take a breath. And I'm like, yes, you do. Good job. Please do that, because there's a lot of stuff on his shoulders. So, um, so take care of yourself, take care of your family. Know that there are people all over the world that care about you, not just cross stitchers, okay, and or other crafters or family members. There are people out there that are thinking about you and want the best for you. And we need to take control for ourselves and for our families and for our furry babies, okay? And make sure that we're safe, but that we also have power. And we take our power, take it back, and use it in constructive ways. Sorry, I've got cat hair all over my face. Willow. Okay, no. Hey. Oh, okay, you can chew on the, I've got my hand on the tripod because she's chewing on it. And she was nuzzling the camera. Now she's back to nuzzling me. So, all right. She has been shedding like crazy since December. Bah. Yes, my beautiful kitty. Yes, you're a good girl. She's behind the camera now. So, okay, cross stitch. Flosstube. This is a channel about floss tubes, not just and cross stitch, not just me petting my kitty and telling her how beautiful she is, which she is. Oh yes, she is. Yes, she is. So anyway, my name is Robin. I'm the Generous Stitcher, and I did want to talk about one of the other Flosstubers mentioned this, that her Flosstubeversary, Flossiversary, which was, she'd been doing floss tubes for 5 years, I think. Just kind of keeping it on the tripod because it looks like it's tilted. And I'm like, so I went on YouTube and I was trying to look up dates, and it says things were posted on March, and I think, maybe when I was saving a video, I resaved some stuff because I literally filmed my first floss tube at the end of January, but then I didn't post it. I posted it in another video in February. So it's the end of February. It is, what is today? The 22nd? Oops. Yeah, the 22nd. So, oh, good. I gotta sneakily get this out because she already came up here and was like, oh, yoink, I'm gonna grab the floss. So I've got the floss hidden. Yes. So I haven't even done any stats on February because it's only the 22nd. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, 7, 8. Oh, that's right. So I can say that I've had 8 social stitching days. I'm not ready to count up to the end of the month yet, but that is the, sorry, I'm writing down the dates that I'm filming. So I don't know about how many, starts. I've had 2 starts this month. No finishes, but darn it, maybe by next week I can be done with the grapes because I'm so close. I did put in about 6 stitches today, because I was working on another thing and got to the point where I was getting frustrated with it. So I set it down and put a couple more threads into the grapes pattern. So maybe I'll have one finished by the end of the month, maybe. Okay, so let's see what else. Willow has gotten down, so I'm gonna show curated cross stitch collection first, because some of my curated cross stitch collection is some floss. Floss was the good, she's not looking. Floss was the coupon item for Acorns and Threads, and so I got some. I have a pattern that called for black coffee from Classic Colorworks, and I really like this color. Here she comes, and then Bing Cherry, because it's beautiful. There she comes. All right, hide that there. Good. And then I did purchase on Etsy Sambry Stitches has a sister named Rayleigh, and she has an Etsy shop with scissor fobs and beading, and so this is the Sambry Stitches scissor fob, and it has an owl, a cat, owl, cat, dog, and then a Bigfoot in the forest charm down here. So, I'd only gotten her Bigfoot patterns, so I didn't know all of the other things she's done as a designer, which were lovely. And she, of course, has market releases. So I had watched her. This is all crackly, so I'm gonna put it over there. So, unfortunately, the back of my shelf there is getting to be kind of a catch-all, but it's also like, okay, we're gonna put our drink here so the cats aren't messing with it. So anyway, I feel like I need to clean that up because I don't like the clutter. All right, so then today, if I can figure out where I put it. Yes, actually, I put it right to where I was hiding the. Oops, things shifted, unfortunately. So, okay, so I had purchased this airmail pattern, which was for September, which is a Japanese bantam rooster, and I had got this not so mellow yellow, I think that's unmellow yellow, which is fabric of the month from, okay, Willow, you gotta get out of the way. Thank you, girl. Oh. Okay. So, the more I thought about it, the more I thought, hey, yeah, I think these will go okay. I think, and somebody saw it, my plant, one of my stitchy friends saw what I was planning, and she's like, oh, that's gonna be gorgeous. So this is 36 count linen. This is fairly small, so I might have a chunk of this left when I get done. And I was looking at the flosses required for this, and it's a bunch of Weeks Dye Works and a couple DMCs. And I was like, darn it, I should have looked at the pattern last week before I went and did my coupon, which covered a discount on flosses, but oh no. So I did pay full price for these today. And so, Willow, no girl. Is this going to be the Willow video? So Louisiana hot sauce for the red, coal for the black. There's falling leaves and in that pattern. So this is cinnamon twist, and then the bantam also had some green blue, and so there's Cadet, which looked a lot more blue in the store. Now it looks really green in my light. And then this is a Mountain Mist, which is kind of like a blue spruce kind of a look. And then this is Concord, which is a purple grape color. So those are the Weeks Dye Works that are for that pattern. Now I have it in a project bag, and I'm going to start it out because I want to make this for one of my family members for Christmas. So, and I really had wanted to make a little pillow, but the age of the recipient means that I can't, and because there's Weeks Dye Works, either I would have to do a floss toss and find DMCs to substitute for the Weeks Dye Works, or I make this into some sort of little hanging thing that they can put on their wall. So I was hoping it could be a little pillow to go with the chicken quilt my mom made them last year, but no. So I guess it's not, if it's Weeks Dye Works, it can't be washed. Okay, so I'll put that down here. That might be a third start for this month. I really want to stitch on it. So another thing that I had really been meaning to purchase and I hadn't purchased until now, and that is Athena Stitching Goddess Cross Stitch Nerd. And this is a long sleeve t-shirt, so I can wear it while it's still cold. And of course, Oregon springs are always cold. And sorry, Willow, where are you? She's meowing at me. Oh, you were clear over there and your little meow carried that far? My goodness. She has like one volume and one meow, and it's very tiny. So I'm kind of surprised there. So, oh, that goes in the whip pile. All right. And then when I was at the shop, I did buy some fabrics, and you know, I did get that yellow from Mystic Fabrics, Fabric of the Month, at the beginning of the month, which I already showed. But I like this Atomic Ranch. It doesn't have, it's LE33781. It doesn't have a name of some sort, just a number. But it reminded me of, there was a, maybe Under the Sea fabric. I can't remember. It was, I don't think it was Mystic, but it was like this squash, I think like squash leaves or squash blossoms, that was really like similar to this in color and modeling. And so when I saw this at my shop, I was like, hey, that reminds me of that one that I looked at better part of a year ago that I didn't get, and I was like, I'm gonna get this now, because when I saw it then with that other dyer, I was like, you know, there's a lot of things that I have in my stash that would look really good on this fabric. So, all right, and then I had seen Atomic Ranch Hydrangea at the shop, and this is a kind of a hydrangea blue with some modeling, and I really liked it. And so when I saw a chunk of it on sale, I got it. And oh, it's 32. This is 32 count, and this is 36. And so I'll talk about 40 count in a minute. So that was some other things that I got. And so, all right. And then of course, Lola Crow put out paper patterns. These are from like 2022, yes, and 2023. So this is Bigfoot Valentine and Ghostly Valentine. And yeah, this is on like a dark, seeing if they had listed the yeah, it doesn't say what the model stitch was done on, but it does say that it 18 count Ada, which I have 18 count black Ada in my stash. It's about the only Ada that I that wasn't from a dyer that I kept this last year when I've been destashing to make room. So, because there's a lot of stuff there's a lot of stuff in my stash that calls for, black Ada. So, all right, so this is a lazuli bunting, and this is the actual photograph. I don't think I've ever seen one of these in the wild. But I've seen a ton of the American goldfinch in the wild. We have in Oregon in the summertime big flocks of these come through. And so this is part of the Bird Crush Club from Lindy Stitches. And I just happened to be in the store some extra time and I was like, these are nice. It's a nice design. There's the lazuli bunting design, and this is the goldfinch. And so, all right. And then this was something I found in the shop that had been on my wish list for a very long time. It's 324 from ABC, Works by ABC. And this is using 324 different kinds of flosses by DMC. And so I wanted to do that for a long time. So those are my haul for the rest of the month, including the flosses I bought today. And then I have a ton of different, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 7. No, that's not. Yeah, like about seven whips. I did kit up. I had told you in planning I was kitting up another long dog, which is Before I Sleep, and I don't know. I had ordered some fabric for it, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use the fabric just because I'm not sure. Because I actually started the fish and chips. I'm saying not chips, ships. I started that this week, and my eyes cannot do 40 count unaided. So I've got a couple magnifier lights. I have a 10x magnifier light, and I can't just wear like multiple cheaters because I have astigmatism and I have a prism in my lenses. So I can, if it's 36 and lower, I can go like this over my glasses and just everything's fine. But 40 count is just a little too small for me to be able to see and stitch and be functional. So I want to work on my 40 count things that I've kitted up, which is this one, Before I Sleep. Although I'm not sure, I'll have to look at the fabric and make sure that I really want to do it on that, or I might give that away. Not the pattern, but give the fabric away and get something that's like 36. And then I did kit up, with my research on flamingos, I did kit up the Foul Mood. So I haven't started this yet. So here's Foul Mood, which was it's a market release from last year by Ink Circles. And I did buy some Peacock Gloriana thread, and I had I think I got some of this in my stash, but I bought Cocoon, which is very similar to another peacock feather picture I have for my research. So I might do the smaller peacocks in this and the bigger ones in the peacock variegated floss. That was kind of my intention. And I did get 40 count arboreal from Cedar River. This is linen, and gorgeous, gorgeous fabric. It's going to make those colors pop out. But it's going to take some fiddling with me and my magnifiers to be able to stitch. And it won't be something that I'll be able to travel with. I'll just have to stitch it here at home and make sure the cats are occupied, or maybe my husband's home so he can play with them. I don't know. Because you see, they're not bugging me now, but it could be any second. So, and when I'm stitching, they're like, ooh, let's chew the flosses. Let's eat the linen. So, all right. So I have got Willow, going past me. My nose is itching. I'm sorry. So, and just a minute ago, it wasn't a cat hair. It was like some floss detritus that was floating around. So, last year I picked up this Plum Street Winter Blessings, which is a small, stitched up as a little pillow here, and I'm stitching it on Vapors by Atomic Ranch. And Vapors this year is a lot more darker modeling of like a gray, and this is more of like a gray brown from the dye lot from last year. So I'm still working on the never-ending border, although you can see it will have an end eventually. So yeah, so I put in, I think, 3 more of these sort of black crosses. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Does that work? I'm kind of wondering how do you get that focused? So anyway, all right. So I'm picking this up and kind of stitching on it sort of in between things because I can whip out another one of those crosses. And, it was something that I bought thinking, oh, it's a small, so I'll do a smalls exchange with it someday. And I realized we weren't going to do smalls exchange with the Salem Mary Stitchers, so I didn't really have a, impetus to finish it really quickly. So I am stitching it up pinwis, September, so maybe I can finish it by then. All right. And okay, so I'm trying to keep my files straight here. So I'm thinking about market and about what types of things might be, doing that hashtag make room for market. So Fox and Rabbit will be a market release. This was the exclusive for a gathering of nuts, and it's a gathering of acorns, our mini retreat at Acorns and Threads. And so I pulled it out. I hadn't stitched on it since April, but now I've stitched on it a few times. And hey, guess what? Let me see how that's how it goes. The little house. So there's the first window, and you can see the outline of the second window, and then to this side here, where you see the transom of the door. And so that's coming along, and trying to decide whether houses bore me or not, because I've never really done one. So I'm like, I can see how some people might think this is restful and meditative. I'm thinking it's kind of boring, but I've always stitched other things that weren't little houses. So, but I really do want to work on it. And and I was thinking, well, shoot, now that I got this window right here done, I could just pop over and start working on this dress, and then I'd have all the other things to do, So, oh gosh, I hadn't even noticed the brick at the bottom with the steps. That's pretty. Yeah, that'll be more fun when I get to the brick foundation. So, which I could start anytime. So, all right, and then worked on this morning, actually this afternoon before the makerspace. One of my friends and I went up to the Tualatin Library, or I went up and she went down in terms of our directions. And so I worked on Purple Pansy Angel, which I'll show last because it's at the bottom of the pile. But then I wanted to finish, I want to finish the grapes, but I'm not there yet. I'm just kind of taking a break. So, because I stitched on a ton in January, and I was just like, God, when is this thing gonna end? And it is really, really close. Okay, the only parts are this part here is blank. Okay, and I have like just a teeny couple missing stitches right there, and then the rest of it's right in here. And and I've gone around and around about how much backstitching I want to do on this, and my friend was kind of like, yeah, most people wouldn't bother, maybe live in the 20th century, don't do it. But so I've been kind of on the fence about whether to do it or not, and thinking that the grape leaves really probably artistically do need the backstitching, because grape leaves are kind of angular in real life, So, yeah, maybe I'll just finish it and call it good. Depends on how lazy I feel the day I finish it, which I'm pretty lazy, so probably I'll say, yeah, that's good enough. I am not one of those people that says, good, don't let perfection be the enemy of good enough. I am totally against that philosophy. I think it's a cop-out. But there is being good enough and competent enough, and she's meowing at me again. I feel like a bad cat mom. So anyway, so this was one of my starts. Oops, I need to, before I show this, I need to hide the pattern. So make sure that the pattern is still hidden. There, the snuggle is real. And I got some mint splash, and so this is the end of the slipper. It's the that dark part that's sort of like a brownish slipper, or dirt on the slipper. I don't know. But anyway, mint splash is sort of like a light aqua blue with little splashes of white. So the end of the slipper is actually right by one of the splashes of white, so I'm hoping maybe it'll make it look dirtier. I don't know. But anyway, I didn't read the pattern. Okay, this is like cross stitch sort of by your feelings instead of your counting. So I didn't really read or I saw what size they used for the to stitch this on, and I guess they were using 14 count. This is 32 count because I wanted to be smaller. Well, the design size for a 28 count or 14 count 14 count Aida 28 count linen is 4 7/8 inches, so essentially 5 inches by 8.5, or a little bit more than 8.5 inches. So it's not that big of a pattern. And so I started on my, bottom left. And when I finish it, I will have a chunk to cut so I can use the scrap for something else. And I thought of something. I thought of a tiny little small, like a scissor fob thing I could do on that scrap, and it would look really pretty. Okay, cool. It's fun to plan different pieces, and it's kind of surprising when the thought comes to you in the middle of a Flosstube. Okay. All right. So, and this 32 count is so easy, and it is like a Lugana or Murano. Here it is. Lindy Stitches it's 32 count mint splash Lugana by Zweigart. So, but anyway, yeah, cool. All right. Now here is the piece that kind of struggled with when I started it, and this is Fish and Ships. Again, I've got like the pattern side up. Get the picture out. So long dog, my first long dog. And this is metallic Pacific blue, and stitching it with B5200 DMC, and there we go. 3 half stitches. And so let me see if this helps. Maybe, I don't know. It's focusing on my fingers, not quite the stitches. Yeah. There. I don't know. This is really frustrating me because I want you to see the stitches. Maybe if I hold still. So, darn it. Yeah. Anyway. So those 3 stitches, the first 2 stitches are going to be perfectly fine. The 3rd stitch, I wasn't sure I stabbed the right hole. And so that's why I thought to myself, okay, this is ridiculous. You're not physically able to see what you're trying to do. And maybe buying all those 40 count pieces of fabric was not a good idea. And my friend this morning said, yeah, Robin, I had that same thought, but I didn't want to tell you because I figured you had to figure this out for yourself, which I respect. I respect. I had to figure it out for myself. And like I say, I haven't quite figured it out because I do have a 10X lamp and I do want to set that up. It's big, it's heavy, I can't travel with it, but I do want to set it up right here with my good light, and then, kind of squish it, get the arm, down at this level, so that I'm looking over down into it and see if I can get it to focus for my eyes correctly. So because I do love this fabric, and it is the perfect fabric for this pattern. I did get a green metallic for the Before I Sleep long dog, and I haven't opened it yet, so I don't know if it's gonna work the way I hope it will, and if it doesn't, then I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'll keep it or if I'll give it to someone. I've got some Christmas pieces that it might work on, but I'd have to do some floss tossing type things. So, okay. All right, I'm looking at my time. All right, because this will not be a very long floss tube. All right, so Thursday night, okay, so I started the fish and chips. My eyes were really getting strained, they were hurting. So I was like, okay, you gotta stop this. You're gonna injure yourself. So then I pulled out The Snuggle Is Real. Did some stitches on that. I can't remember, maybe I pulled it out second, but I ended up working on 3 things. And the other thing that I worked on that wasn't fish and chips was Acorns and Friends, which was the 2025 exclusive for our mini retreat. And sorry, my pattern got hung up on my oh shoot, can't pull that too hard or I'll pull my needle. So anyway, this is as far as I got on the Acorns and Friends. I am still working on the grass. I'm just going back over and making the full cross on the grass at the very bottom. So, and I'm almost to the point at the far left end where I can start stitching the bottom of the tree that's on the left-hand side of the pattern. So, some progress on there. And so it's fun. It's like Festive Forest. It's something I'll pull out when I need to like cleanse the palette of something else, if I'm getting frustrated on something. And then I worked on this on Monday at the federal holiday. And I was hoping to touch all my whips over the weekend, but I ended up not doing that. And so this is Emmeline Purnell, which is an exclusive for Acorns and Threads for, I'm not sure how long, for a while. And so it's Hands Across the Sea and samplers. And so it's got a bunch of different things. I'm using silk, which I'm loving. And so it's on Mystic Atypical 36 count. And so Monday I finished the bigger rows and I stitched another leaf of the border. So I need to look at the border and make sure that I counted out the right amount. So I'm not, because I was looking at going, is this right? Is it looking right? And I mean, the stitches look fine. The silk is beautiful. So, okay. And now finally, gotta hide this again in case Willow or Max jumps up. It's flosses. So, Purple Pansy Angel, which I stitched on today at the Makerspace at Tualatin Library. And so This is a Janlin kit from 1995, and today I worked on the very bottom of this leaf as it goes up against her dress, and I worked on down toward the bottom where some leaf stuff is down here, because I'd worked on a lot of the pansy parts, and I was like, I need to fill in the green confetti. And I realized when I was stitching that somewhere I miscounted, and at this point I'm gonna make do and just kind of stitch over, stitch around. Nobody's really gonna be able to tell, you know, that I made a mistake, because it's not, you know, they're not gonna be looking at the pattern when they look at this, and it is really pretty something. And I'm just gonna hold it up so that all the flosses don't come out. So you can see I worked on this green part at the top, and then the green part at the bottom is a bit more filled in than it was. So I had a hard time figuring out where I was, because, you know, this pattern is really complicated, and, you know, all of the symbols are not very well copied onto the pattern. They're hard to tell what they are sometimes, and so it's challenging, but I did get some of it done, and I'm gonna try and work on it some more. So I need to get back into it, but I'm trying to do some of the edges, especially at the top, so I can basically get back to putting in some border, and know that, oh hey, you know, I've got this much left of this border, so I can count how much I've got. So but I did realize that in this area, sorry, she's making a bunch of noise and I don't know what she's doing. I did realize that that this green leaf and this dress, the pansy part, the dress part, were not quite syncing. They were off by a line and a few, yeah. So anyway, I will figure it out, and hopefully we'll not need to frog anything, but that's what I don't want to do. But if I have to frog out the green, oh well. And yeah, I can definitely reshape some of that so it doesn't look so weird. All right, so that's Purple Pansy Angel. There's like this, there's this one of the hinges here. I thought at one point Willow chewed it and opened it, but I'm finding in that it won't close with me. So I think it's just damaged because it's plastic. So, all right, so that is it for, that is it. You know, and it was fun today at the shop. I went to the shop after stitching with my friend at the library because I wanted to get those Weeks Die Works for the Bantam Rooster pattern. And I ran into another mutual stitchy friend of us, and I said, hey, I just stitched with so-and-so at the library. And then she's like, are you going to the beach retreat? And I'm like, I am. And so, you know, more and more people are asking me, are you going to go to the Cannon Beach retreat with Acorns and Threads? And so it's going to be a good group. It's going to be I think it's going to be there's going to be a bunch of fun, and we're going to stitch a lot, and, you know, so anyway, it's still February. It's still rainy and dreary. My favorite time of the year, or actually I hate February, but I love gray and dreary. Okay, I'm only happy when it rains. That song was written for me. And so it's great. And and because it's been colder and rainy, we got snow, we got the the Cascades got a little bit of their snow back, which is good because we need as much snow as we can keep on the mountains because that helps prevent droughts and forest fires later in the year. So more rain, gray, yes. So, all right, let's see. I've kind of had a bit of startitis, and I had finished my cross stitch Excel spreadsheets, and so that's kind of made me think, ooh, what can we start now? What can we pair fabrics with? And the Japanese rooster thing was just happened like last night. Like, oh hey, the Japanese bantam, that can go on that yellow fabric I just got. Yay, okay. And I was kind of like, it's on a whitish fabric that's really, it's probably Silver Moon or something like that with Lindy stitches, but I haven't looked to see what the model was stitched on, but it looks white in the picture, or fairly white. So I wasn't sure whether the yellow would be a good choice with the kind of fallen leaf color, but now that I've seen the cinnamon twist, I think it'll be okay. So anyway, so I think that's it, and just stay safe, and those of you who are vets like me, stay frosty. We care about you, and you have power. There is hope. There are things we can do. Help us boycott the oligarchs. And I think that's it. And now Willow has gone off, and I don't know what she was messing with her when she was making those crinkly noises. When I listen to my video in a bit, then I'll know. Then I'll hear how bad it was on the video. So I hope it wasn't bad at all. But anyway, thank you very much, and keep stitching. All right. See you in March. Yesterday, I've been watching so much politics, and yesterday, by the end of the day, I basically just played music videos on my YouTube and sang to the music videos, which, okay, so anyway, it's funny because the first time, I'm a vocalist, my husband's a vocalist, but we haven't been in any choral groups or anything like that lately. And so there have been a few times that I've sung rock music at home, and Willow wasn't sure she liked it. And so yesterday when I was singing rock music, Willow came up and got in my face and purred and snuggled my face and nuzzled my face, and then eventually she bit me on the cheek. So I still don't know if she likes it or she's getting used to it. So I think maybe she liked the first time I sang rock music at home, it was a bunch of U2, and maybe she didn't like U2, but she liked the Audio Slave, some of the other things I was singing yesterday, or the Disturbed. So I don't know what she likes. So anyway, there's my girl. Yes, oops, sorry. Okay, so, oh, my happy Willow. She's got a big happy face on.